Yeah, I'm still painting, and this time I have money. Actually, I have money for paint, but I forgot it. I forgot to buy paint, and yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm a big fucking idiot. So this whole thing, I should have the best. Sink white. And the primary colors, that would be all I need. But you know, it's not gonna look like that. But it being warmer there works. You know, like shaping the form, shaping the body, if you will. Him also is actually in an interesting way has more volume now. What I did with his face was just use sandpaper, as I talked about before, and just so certain colors from under the colors there shows up, and you get some interesting texture. And then I just painted with warm paints where the places I wanted it to be most warm. So in the most fundamental level, it works. It has a shape. I want him to be more darker than her, of course, and his suit is something I need to work with. Now this will spiel, fuck. I kind of, maybe I want to paint a little bit with this one. Someone called this a fan art, and I got offended, and I'm sorry to people that makes fan art, but I don't want it to be seen as that. It is a Batman thing, kind of, but I want it to transcend. You know, even if you like it or not, superheroes and comics has its place in society now. Is modern lore is like the Greek gods and stuff like that. I don't know. It's interesting because people in the old time, now we see like literature and fine art and stuff like that, classical music, as that's what the smart people do, right? If you read Dostoevsky, you're smart. But at the time, it wasn't the case. It's just that I think it's because there's so much older art forms than, for example, movies. Films are very is an infant. You know, 100 years, even, not even, and yeah, well, sort of. So people tend to look at. Like to myself, I thought, I want to be smart. I want to tell myself that I'm smart. So I read Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment, and Brothers Karamazov. And did I feel smarter after I read it? No. You know, so I have a kind of a thing with that. You know, in the old times they painted Greek myth or Roman. Like, there's a lot of storytelling in there with gods or whatever it is, you know, history. So I just want to tell a story, and if I feel that I can tell that story with Batman, for example, or something like that, I will. So Dan, what the fuck are you doing now? Well, this is an old painting, and as I talked about before, when you layers of paint, when you go over with sandpaper, you kind of get this kind of texture, you know, layers of shit. You can see that in the whole painting there. So I've done that, gone over with sandpaper, and now I'm drawing with Mars Black, I think. At least it's just black, but I'm drawing over, and see how much it lifts everything just by drawing lines. Because anatomy-wise, I think this was kind of fucked. Well, now I'm simply drawing. If I had charcoal or something, things like that, I could draw on without destroying the painting, and I could just brush it away. But I don't, because I'm poor and I suck, so I just have this black paint. But yeah, I'm gonna remove him. So Dan, what the fuck are you doing now? Well, I'm painting the background green because that's the color I have. And I'm painting because I just want this one to pop and her to pop. And then I'll think about the background. And I'll paint green behind her. I want the shapes to come forward. You know, fuck this painting. fuck it anyway, right? Just fuck it. Do you see that it becomes something completely different? You know, how this color, you know, makes this pop more. There's green in, color of our skin is full of colors. One of those colors is green, a lot of green. But yeah, I want to have her form shape. I wanted to remove Batman, and I wanted this in the foreground. You have no fucking idea how tired I am of this painting. And since I can't do anything about this, it might be a blessing in disguise, you know. I'm still sort of drawing with just black paint, and I'm trying to figure shit out, and I'm painting highlights with green. So yeah, weird, but I kind of my unconscious wants that arm to move a little bit more like there. That's why I'm, you know, it looks more. And is this better or worse? You know. Of course, I started working on this one yet again. I worked a little bit on his face. I like the volume here and the mix between cold and warm. The eye is a little eye-ish. Yeah, I gotta do something. What do you think about this? It's very thick paint, and it's what is it called? Impasto or something like that. But it's in the places where it shouldn't be, you know. Yeah. But that's how I work. I'm just, you know. And this was a sunrise or a sunset, and she was standing there, and there was a sunset in the background. But I changed. Yeah, you know, since I'm broke, I have no paint, so I have to use old tubes, try to find something left, you know. And this is titanium white. As you can see, it's empty, but I've had to be clever and just open it and find some titanium paint inside. That's what that is.